Hello everyone, I'm Moses Leos, and this is your Hayes Free Press Sports Roundup for the week of May 29th. Once again this week we chronicle the playoff runs of the Hayes baseball and softball teams. Of course, the big story this past weekend was the incredible amount of rain that fell upon the area and the chaos it brought to both squads. Let's begin with the Hayes baseball team, who was originally scheduled for a 3-game series with Corpus Christi Moody in the regional semifinal. However, rains in the San Antonio area forced the series to be shrunk down to a 1-game winner-take-all situation. Many thoughts were given to that location, including Cuero and El Campo, but both teams decided on Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. Once play finally began on Saturday, Moody quickly jumped out to an early lead and never looked back, as the Rebels' season ended in a 6-1 loss. The Trojans began the game on a streak, scoring 2 runs in the first, one of which was unearned via a Rebel error. Hayes battled back in the second as senior Granger Studdard ripped an RBI double to left, scoring Justin Montana to cut the Moody lead to 2-1. But Moody pulled away from the Rebels in the second inning, scoring 4 runs on 4 hits against Hayes pitcher Tyler Woodmansey. Woodmansey did settle down in the game, pitching 4 scoreless innings the rest of the way. He finished with 3 strikeouts in a 6-inning effort. Yet the Rebels were unable to decipher Trojan pitcher Kenny Saenz, who went 7 innings, striking out 9 batters and only giving up 2 hits. Saenz, who was throwing upwards of 80 miles per hour, was an element Hayes could not overcome as they fell 6-1. So the Rebels season concludes in the regional semifinal round. It marks the 4th time in program history that the Rebels have reached that round. After the game, here is Coach David Knoll reflecting on how much it meant for the Rebels to reach this far in only his first year as head coach.
It doesn't mean so much to me as I think it does to them. So these guys, it's a great group of guys. I had them 4 years ago. I knew the talent that we had, and I felt like we could make a run in the playoffs, and I believed it all along. And I couldn't have had a better group for my first year. I couldn't have had a better group.
From all of us at the Hayes Free Press, congratulations to the Rebel baseball team on a tremendous season. As inclement weather affected the baseball series, it also put an incredible strain on the softball team as well. Originally, the softball team was to play a 3-game set against Leander and Elgin in the regional final. The aftermath of this weekend, though, this last weekend's rainstorm put into motion a wild set of circumstances for both teams. Alright, so the search for a playoff game began. First, the Hayes softball team traveled to Elgin, 50 miles from Buda, but then they had to go to Georgetown as that game was rained out. They traveled 37 miles, and then 47 miles back to Buda as they were rained out and canceled on Friday. So on Saturday, the softball team then traveled to Weimar, 88 miles from Buda. But then they found out that was also canceled, so they had to go all the way to Schreiner University in Kerrville, 173 miles away from Weimar, and eventually made it back home to Buda, 114 miles away. So, Schreiner University was the final stop on the Lady Rebels 2013 Regional Final Tour as they took on Leander in a 1-game playoff on May 25th. It was a back-and-forth affair, but eventually Hayes prevailed in their final at-bat to win 4-3 in walk-off fashion, giving Hayes a berth in the 2013 state tournament in Austin for the first time in program history. Leander took an early 1-0 lead in the first inning via a Haley McKay RBI triple, but Hayes battled back, tying the game in the bottom half of that inning as Hayes' Clarissa Gonzalez brought in Maddie Shannon on an RBI double to knot the game at 1-1. Hayes had a chance to score more runs in the 5th inning, but left the bases loaded. That gave Leander a chance to take advantage of that opportunity, and they did. McKay drove in another RBI in the top of the 6th to give the Lady Lions a 2-1 lead. But once again, Hayes fought right back. In the bottom of the 6th, with 2 in scoring position, Corina Rocha placed down a textbook bunt, confusing the Lady Lion defense. Leander's confusion allowed Brayden Pinkard and Sarah Leal to score, giving Hayes a 3-2 lead going into the top of the 7th. The Lady Lions, though, did not go quietly into the night as they rallied to score a run in the 7th, tying the game at 3 apiece. Despite giving up that late run, though, the Lady Rebels offense concocted a program-defining 2-out rally in the bottom of the 7th inning. With 2 outs, Hayes' Maddie Shannon led off with a single that flew just past the Leander second baseman. After Desiree Wainwright entered as Shannon's courtesy runner, Pinkard followed with a double, moving the runners to 2nd and 3rd. At that point, Hayes' Gabby Alvarez went up to bat and blasted a walk-off RBI single, scoring Wainwright to give Hayes a dramatic 4-3 victory. After the game, here is head coach Aaron Fuller describing what it took for the Lady Rebels to persevere.
The key was never giving up. I mean, the defense was pretty good. Hannah Holt's a great pitcher, and our girls struggled with her. But the key was we never gave up ever. You know, we knew it was going to be a tough game, and we knew Leander was going to be really good. But we continued to fight and fight and fight.
In only his second season, Fuller now leads the Lady Rebels to uncharted territory, the state tournament. Sarah Leal also put forth another determined performance on Saturday. Here's Leal describing the mentality of the team this last weekend.
We came out with 100% focus like we do every game. Our motto is one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, one game at a time. Staying on top is what we're used to. And if we come out like that every time, we're fine.
Leal went all 7 innings in Saturday's contest. Hayes now advances to where they expected to be when the season started, the state tournament in Austin. They become the first Hayes CISD team since the 2009 Lady Rebel basketball team to advance to play in a state tournament. Fuller and his Lady Rebels will now try to do something no team has done since the 1967 Hayes volleyball team, and that's win a state championship. First things first, though, they must reach the state championship game. The Lady Rebels' quest for a state title begins on Friday, May 31st at noon, where they take on Aledo in the state semifinal round. Should the Rebels win, they will play for a state title on Saturday at 1 o'clock against the winner of Richmond Foster and Lucas Lovejoy. All games will be played at Red and Charlene McCombs Field in Austin, and all games will be televised via the Fox Sports Southwest family of networks. We at the Hayes Free Press want to wish the Lady Rebel softball team the best of luck in their quest for a state championship this next weekend. For the Sports Roundup, I'm Moses Lagos.